We're just woken up. Let's rock on the hat. Oof. Oh. It's my birthday today. 43. 43. I'm sorry what I said when I was undercarbed. I've got a question here. This is from a coaching group. If you want to join the coaching group, ask me any questions and we get them answered. Let's go to durianrider.com and scroll down to the coaching. All right, so this is a question here from a young lady. All right, so she says, keep her name out of it. There's no need for that. So this is a good thing about the coaching group is if you want to create a totally anonymous account, then you can do that. Right? There's plenty of people in the group who just have aliases and they ask really, really personal questions. So it's just a great place where there's no judgment, there's a paywall, so there's zero trolls, and you can be whoever you want. You can be your real self, you can meet people, or you can have two accounts. You can have your real account and you can have an alias account where you ask questions that you don't feel comfortable asking or whatever, with your name, whatever. We're just creating, I don't think there's anything on the internet that I'm aware of that has this level of, ask anything and get real answers and also affordable. If you know anything, let me know. Anyway, saw your video on the guy's question. I need to drink and a little jump cup there in the water bottle. Always have water with you. Keep your mouth moist for gentle hygiene. Saw your video on the guy's question regarding his missus sleeping with a bunch of dudes and then settling down with him. Did a video on my main channel, Durianriders, about that. In said video, you were talking about hormones dropping off, etc., and women being able to sense that and looking around to hypergamize with some alpha dude. What does hypergamize mean? Hypergamy, whatever you want to call it, how to pronounce it. Hypergamy is how women are. Like, men are driven by variety. You can be married to a supermodel and be infatuated with her, and then your house cleaner is nice to you when she's nagging you. You're like, oh, well, the house cleaner, Arnold Schwarzenegger sort of thing. So men are, variety. Testosterone demands variety. Women always demanding better. Okay, that's the hormonal drive, right? We're not talking about personality or whatever. This is just a hormonal thing. Estrogen is like better security, better looks, etc. Testosterone is about conquering and spreading the seed, right? So it's just about that as a general male and female genetic blueprint. That's not my theory. That's just how society is. It's like animals. In the jungle, the biggest animal is like the scariest. There's not many animals in nature who would be okay with an elephant charging them. So anyway, that's hypergamy, and understanding that's very, very important for relationships. That is very, very important for relationships. It helps women not nag their guy. If a woman nags a guy, that kills his testosterone. If she's screaming at him and grabbing him and clawing him or whatever, that kills his testosterone for hours. So his attraction to her is just like, poof. All right. So if you want to decrease your man's attraction for you, wipe his testosterone down, literally, plasma levels just drop. You feel like you don't even have a banana anymore. Your banana and walnuts just disappear. Like, do I still have a banana and walnuts? And that's what women have to do. And then flip side, men, if you want to break up with a woman, never break up with her, because a woman rejected, hell have no comparison. So the best way to do it is to lower your hypergamy pull, your alphaness. All right? That's not about, we're not talking muscles, we're talking everything. We're talking the way you smell, the way you talk, your breath, how you shape, or just your everything, your bounce, your presence, are you whining, that's going to kill her attraction for you as well. So then she'll start looking around, and then she'll be like, oh, maybe we should break up. And you're like, oh, I love you, baby, but I guess if that's what you want, she'll be like, yeah, that's what I want. And then boom, and that way you'll be like, yeah, got out of that without any dramas. So that's the best way to do it. If you're in a divorce situation, man, and you divorce your wife, then she's going to be like, oh, I want your assets, because she feels rejected. Now, if you let her just go on, run off, chances are she'll be like, I'm happy, I've got my whatever I wanted. See, you can do whatever you want. So you always let the woman leave. Okay, simple as that. You save a lot. You save fake rape. You save all these fake allegations against you. You save court. You save so much by letting the woman leave your presence versus you just saying, I don't want you. I want to go with a younger, prettier model. That's just like, been there, done that, and yeah, you have to deal with the consequences on that one. So there's ways to do it. Right? Lower your hypergamy status as a mate. let's get back to the question here. A bit of a sidebar there. Me and my man have been together almost 10 years. He's a fucking star of a guy. He stuck with me when I was going through the rebound, weight gain, and subsequent craziness, etc. So this is a nice guy. And women love nice guys, but they don't get too horny for him. All right? So you want to be a nice guy who's also an alpha. We'll get to that. And I was going through the rebound, weight gain, and subsequent craziness, etc. He has empowered me in a myriad of ways. He's funny, honest, caring, intelligent, a very hard worker, and comes from a good family. He looks after me very well, and we don't bullshit each other. What's missing there? He's funny, honest, caring, intelligent, a very hard worker, and comes from a good family. He looks after me very well, and we don't beat each other. So this guy's a really good catch. But he's not giving the fuckboy vibes anymore. Right? He's not giving that lust when your woman's ovulating. You know, he's not giving that like, you know, let's go do something naughty or whatever vibes. Right? And then so that's like, you know, that's the carbohydrates relationship for women. You know, they've got to have that hypergamy stimulus. Otherwise, they're like, what else is around here? You know, this is how it is. You know, all women are like that. You know, 99.99% of them, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just hormones. Same with guys, like variety. Women are driven by hypergamy. Understanding that saves a lot of people a lot of relationship issues. So our lady here, she loves him very much, and I want to be with him. But recently, especially since the lockdown, but not over the past few years as well, he hasn't been looking after himself. All right, what's he been doing? He's turning 30 soon, and the youthful glow he had when we got together, when he was eating high carb, low fat with me, has gone. So his looks are going down. I wouldn't say that's because of age, because you can still look fresh at 30. You can still look fresh at 60, you know. It depends how you hold yourself, what you do. He drinks coffee every morning and has started regularly to get high. He eats a fair bit of junk food and doesn't train very effectively. He's more of an if when I can be asked sort of kind of deal. My attraction towards him is physically waning. Oof. So the hypergamy, he's not ticking that fuckboy attraction thing. I've told him this a few months ago, but it has seemed to not take too much notice. Maybe I wasn't assertive or transparent as I should be. Yes, women often, this is a big mistake women do, is they will put out signs that other women can pick up on. But us guys, we're just like black and white. It's like, yes, no. You know, women, it's like maybe, grey. You know, 50 shades of grey. If a man, do you want to come in, Tasha?
Yeah.
What are you going to do? All right, you go for a couple of drill jumpies. Oh, we had to do a jump cut there. Natasha was just grabbing some stuff and she was nude. And this is family show here. We can't have any nude Victoria's Secret model-esque girls running in front of the camera. Let's get back to it. Be distracted here. All right. So his attraction is physically waning. Her attraction is physically waning towards him. I've told him a few months ago. So this is what we're talking about. Black and white. You know, men need yes and no. And women often say no when they mean yes, and they say yes when they mean no. And, you know, so that's just like, a guy's head's like, do you mean yes? Do you mean no? Like, what the fuck? What do you mean? You know what I mean? So you have to, best to write it down. All right? Men prefer, we respond better to, verbals are good, but written. Because your male brain, your testosterone brain can remember it, all right? Reading is very important. So if you handwrite it, text is okay, but if you handwrite, it's even better. Something powerful about handwritten. To say, hey, this is some things that I would like you to do, and I would like you to create a list of things you'd like to do for me, you know, and give it at the right time, not when they're like running late for the bus or, you know, they've got all these things in play. Get it when it's relaxed, when they're just like, you know, in their recreation time. Give them a list. Say, hey, can we talk for a minute? Let's just have a list. I want to, let's level up our relationship, and you know, and do it over some food. You know, make sure there's carbohydrates consumed. Let the person have the carbohydrates, and then give them the ultimatum. Not the ultimatum, but give them the, you know, like, it's easier to entertain change and work when you've got enough carbohydrates in your system, right? When your battery is charged, like a phone, you know, if it's, or a car, when it's out of gasoline and you're trying to give it some revs and it's like, what's going on? Right? So make sure the person's charged up, sleep, water, sugar, and then give them the demands. And make sure to say, hey, and this is a two-way street, by the way. This is what I like from you. And here's 5 things or 10 things or 20 things. What would you like from me? You know, and that is what we call a relationship. And most people can't do that because they don't have a relationship. And if you can't do that, what are you doing with your life? You know, staying up for the kids, just teaching the kids how a relationship shouldn't be. I don't know. Yeah, but that's where I'll lose a lot of people there. That's where I'll lose people. But I'd rather be real with people rather than get more subscribers and have people saying, yes, Harley, yes. That doesn't give me satisfaction in life. Giving people real talk that's really going to help them, that's what gives me satisfaction. That's what gives me the tingles between the ears. And so you have to be clear. You have to give the guy a chance in a man's communication. All right, man's communication, not a girl's like, well, I'm doing this with my hair. Like, what are you doing? Like, come on over here, talk to me. Has to be written, handwritten. No, like that's something powerful, man. When you handwrite something, a request to someone, that's like a handwritten contract there. It's powerful. So do that, women. And if you do that, and he still doesn't respond, he just isn't that into you, and it's time to wind down a relationship. Simple as that. Or just live for a less quality life. And because things change, yeah. Sparks come and go, and that's fine. It doesn't make anyone a bad person, get angry or hurt or take it personally. Things just, the sunshine comes and goes. Sometimes it's raining and cold, and sometimes it's warm and sunny. It's just how it is. Sometimes the cat sits in your lap, and sometimes it's stealing your food out of your hand, biting on your ears. And so she says also, a lady here says that she feels he still works hard in life and treats me like a queen, so I don't want to criticize him. And I hear you, you're thinking, well, he does all these things to me. I don't want to be like, come across like a bitch because, but you won't be if you do it, when he's carved up, had some sleep, and write it down and saying, this is what, and also say, this is what I like about you as well. Here we go. You've got to sandwich it. Say, these are 10 things I like about you, and these are 10 things, or one thing that I'd like you to work on. This is what, I'd love you to start. And, maybe you're busy or whatever. Maybe we can change our life so you're working less and you can do more training, whatever. I'll support you with that. So there has to be that level of support the guy feels as well. Because he'd be like, hang on, fuck, I'm working 70 hours a week to buy the new bathroom and the lounge room and put the kids through private school, and now you're telling me I've got to go to the gym more. Like, what do you want? So it has to be realistic, all right? Women want Superman, a Superman. And even then, the woman will be like, is Superman really the best guy I can get? That's just hypergamy, and that's fine. But women also, I love these questions because I get to really, unleash some truth here. This is the reality, and this is where guys stuff up. They're like, the woman wants the nice house, so then the guy gets a job as a lawyer or whatever, and he's away, and then the girl's at home by herself. She's like, well, I'm bored. What's Frank doing? And then the guy's like, hey, I gave you a house, I gave you the kids, and you're off with Frank. Frank doesn't even have a job. He's got 7 inches and he knows how to use it. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's just how it works. Like, guys, you have to be very smart and understand what women want, and understand you're going to invest in a certain woman and just waste your life investing in her, So it goes both ways, guys and girls. But anyway, this is a question from a woman about men, so let's keep it on track, Harley. I love who he is, and I love how he makes me feel, but his hormones and T are dropping, so that doesn't do it for me, So, what does she mean by this? I love who he is, that's great. So I love him as a person, that's very important. I love how he makes me feel, but his hormones outside of the bedroom, she likes how he makes her feel outside the bedroom. But in the bedroom, his hormones and T level are dropping. So that's an example of you're in a situation where you're really attracted to someone, but maybe they're tired, or maybe they're not ovulating that week or whatever. Just, the vibe's just not really happening, even though maybe you're really turned on and you're really horny, but they're not really feeling it, and the vibe's not as strong as if they're really feeling it and they're really into what you're doing and into you. That's where the connection is, and that's why vasectomy sex is so important, so good. Vasectomy sex level is just so much better. Every girl I've been with agrees with that. And so, in the bedroom, our male friend here, his T levels are dropping. If you smoke marijuana, if you do opiates, your testosterone levels are dropping, so you don't have the same intensity. Now, if a woman's into you enough to be in bed with you, and your intensity is less than what she wants, or what she's used to, or whatever, she'd be like, oh, is this guy really into me? Maybe he's batting for the other team, which is fine, but that happens a lot as well. So then this girl starts to question things, and then you can feel her. She's like, oh, she's not even really present. And then the girl's like, he's not even really present because his hormones aren't present. And what's going on here? What are we doing? You know? She's looking at the ceiling. She's like not feeling it. She's drying up. And it's just like, oof, you know? So that's why looking after your hormones, guys, is very important. So if you're working the midnight oil to put food on the table for the family, but your woman's not satisfied, then, you know, you're in a double jeopardy, aren't you? You're in double jeopardy. Well, I'm a provider. And that's good, but you're neglecting your fuckboy status, which is very, very important for most women. Assuming that woman has sufficient estrogen. Maybe she's a starved girl trying to get abs and she has low testosterone and low estrogen and she has zero sex drive, she's asexual, then maybe all she wants is a nice house to live in, okay? But if she's like the everyday woman who has functioning hormones because she's not starving herself to get abs, then if you don't have your fuckboy status strong, your game card strong, then she'll be like, Frank, we need 7 inches. Or durianrider, we need 7 inches. Michael from Norway, you know, has felt the wrath of that. Anyway, let's not get sidetracked here. My question is, what can I do to support him? I've gotten in so much trouble over the years, haven't I? I've gotten in so much trouble over the years with girls not getting their needs met by boyfriends and then coming up to my hotel room, get their needs met, and then the boyfriend finding out, and then it's like 130 videos about durianrider on YouTube. My question is, how can I support? What can I do to support him in being his best self? So yeah, is your boy working too much? You know, is he working too much? Why is he working too much? Because he's in debt. How can we go bankrupt and clear that? You know, so this is a holistic approach, right? This is all about holistic. It's like the hat here. There's many facets. There's the peak. There's a pure sapphire. This hat costs $200,000. No, it didn't. But you know, there's so many facets to things. So it's like many factors, many variables. So why is his T level low? Is it because he's going to bed too late? Is it because he's not eating enough carbohydrate? Is it because he's got stress from work or stress from you or he's stressed from he can't fulfill his parents' ideals for him? All right, so T, what affects low T? And I've got a lot of experience. I've taken it myself. I've had low T, I've had high T, I've had normal T. I had it all. Manipulated it, low, high, mid, whatever, just to feel what the difference is so I can understand and relate to people. And so this is, yeah, we could talk for hours on this one. So I'm going to give a basic one here. So we've got testosterone needs to be addressed. My question is, what can I do to support him in being his best self? How can I make him realize that I want him to behave like he would if he was single? Yes, guys. I love this girl's honesty. And on the game where he'd be out working out, eating right and grooming himself well, you know, like he was looking for a GF. This is what you got to be, guys. Guys, you got to be the fuckboy that the girl was into at the start, all right? You got to keep that image, keep that attitude, keep that alphaness. And if you become the little teddy bear, the little cuddly, pudgy teddy bear, you know, that's okay to some degree. But when she's ovulating, she don't want a cuddly teddy bear. She wants that fuckboy at the start, you know, that she was attracted to at the start. You know, who she put out on the first date for. She wants that guy, right? Who you were then that first night when she's like, I don't do that the first date, and then an hour later she's got her ankles around your chin. Then that's who you got to be the whole relationship, man. Right? Every hour of the day, within reason. This is real talk. I love it. I love being able to contribute. You know. So yeah, you got to. This is what girls want to. You know. Yeah. Girls want to change you, but they want you to say they want to tame the fuckboy. Right. So you got to keep that. This is the 6 female needs, guys. We'll get to that in a sec, but let's just wrap it up here. I work on myself a lot, this girl does. She works on herself a lot, like a lot of young women do these days. I'm getting up early, I'm getting out on the bike nearly every day, I journal, I take accountability for my issues, I treat him with love and respect, and we do have a pretty good sex life despite the issues, which means a woman's written that, so it's, you know, it's a bit grey area, it could have many definitions. I'm going to assume the sex life, pretty good sex life despite issues, so she's probably orgasming with him because she feels comfortable, and it's like, you know, maybe he knows what her buttons are, etc. But there's something missing. That the spice that she had on first night, was, you know, first month or first year, is started to fade after almost 10 years, which is normal, you know, which is sort of normal. And so she's looking to spice things up to get the attraction back for him that she had. She wants him to level up. Let's put the computer away. To level up and be the guy that she, you know, lusted for at the start and fell in love with. So the love is there for him. He's treating her right. He's treating her like a queen. He's got a job. He's got a good family. He seems like a respectful guy. Seems like a good catch. All right. What's letting down? He's getting high. What does high mean? It could be spice, it could be weed, it could be opiates, it could be whatever. Any of these drugs you do, guys, is going to lower your testosterone. And if you lower your testosterone, women lose their attraction for you, like, instantly. And that's like sexual attraction, I should say. They might be attracted to you as a pianist or attracted to you as a comedian or whatever. But in terms of sexualness, ovulation, attraction, that fizzles down, okay? It just does. That's just... So it's like hormones. It's hypergamy. It's women's DNA. Now, there are exceptions. There's women out there who aren't attracted to men for whatever reason. Okay, and that's fine. But we're talking a straight girl here, which represents the majority. And so we're going to give you the answer that is real. And that is, if you do these drugs, guys, you lower your sexual function to women. And, you know, plenty of women. Read the forums, look at the YouTube videos, look at that Vice documentary where the girl was like, yeah, I was with a young guy, but he was limp. This is a young athletic guy and he just couldn't get it up. And that's why you see Viagra so popular with young guys, you know. It's like, wow, young guys on steroids and doing Viagra, and without the Viagra, they couldn't perform. And it's like, whew, that could also be psychological, you know. You take stuff and you're like, oh, you know, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, that's could be nutritional, could be a lot of things. Could be sleep, could be hormones as well. So you don't always want to take a pill or do something and get a result without understanding why did you take it? Did you really need it? Is it psychological? Is it physiological? Right, so we can go in the rabbit hole here. So the real question for this lady is, how can I address it to my man? I think we're answering the question in the video by making sure his sleep water sugar's met. You know, maybe get him off beforehand. You know, give him a good bit of deep throat. A lot of guys respond to that pretty well. And yeah, so you know, so this video is for her. Oh, wow, that's what I would do. If I was the guy, what I want, and I represent most men out there in that I have hormones functioning, I'm attracted to women, so I represent most men out there, and I would say the best way is get him carved up, have him sleep, give him a massage, give him a little DT, and then when he's in that prolactin phase, just, life's good, hit him up with that, you know? And don't nag. Don't nag it. The worst thing a girl can do for a guy's testosterone levels is nag him. That's like, oh my God. Women don't understand it. And I know women why do women nag a guy? They're pissed off. They want some attention from him. All right? They're being nice. He's not getting attention. They nag, they get attention. So then they learn, if I nag him, I get the attention. And you might get attention out of guilt or he's pissed off or whatever, but you won't get the real, you know, the testosterone attention. In general, you might get a guy who's like, I'm just going to grab you with that, and that might happen rarely. And then a woman goes, oh, if I nag him, I'll get that, you know, that physical attention. Grab me by the arms, pin me up against the wall, blah blah blah. That happens occasionally, but in general, no, because it's just like that just turns off most guys, unless they're like high on drugs or whatever. You know, so that's what you got to do: is be nice. How can the woman raise the guy's testosterone? She's presentable. She's doing these things, but it sounds like his testosterone is getting lowered by his drugs and working too much. And with working too much, generally for most people that means stress. So stress just lowers your T. Lowers your T. You know? I know what it feels like to have high T. Naturally, artificially, endogenously, exogenously. I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like to have it through the floor. Alright? So these things do lower your testosterone in that moment. You know? Nagging lowers your T. Stress lowers your T. You know? Fighting lowers your T. You know? Fist fighting, winning a fight raises your T. Losing a fight lowers your T. Your sports team wins, your T goes up. Your posture goes up, your T goes up. Your posture goes down, your sports team loses, your T goes down. It does. Get a bad letter in the mail, get stressed, you lost, T goes down. Yeah. If you're winning, your T's up. Metaphorically, your banana's up, your banana's down. Simple as that. Overthinking things too much, it can lower your T. So T's very... yeah, it's amazing. It's an amazing hormone, and it needs to be discussed more. I only really discovered this stuff in late 30s. You know, just from being involved with sports doping, fascinated about that. Lance Armstrong, frankness on YouTube, doing my own experiments with steroids and things like that, and just understanding and you know, that whole sexual side of things, and very, very interesting subjects. That's my tip for the lady out there: is how can you get him back to fuckboy status? Just remind him who he was at the start. You know, and say that's what I loved about you. And but then also you have to be willing to understand maybe the relationship has let's go hypothetically. Maybe the relationship has expired. Maybe I don't know the guy. Let me make some assumptions here that aren't going to be 100%. That could be 100%, but they're not guaranteed to be. Does that make sense? Like you could go down the east, you could go south, you could go west. Let's go east. Maybe the guy, he's reached his peak in life. He doesn't want to change. He's like, I'm 30, I'm over the hill now, blah, 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 blah. And he's just happy to do that though. And then set that guy free and say, thanks, I love you, but I want to move on. And then maybe he's the guy who just needs a bit of a wake up, a bit of a shake up and go, hey, why am I working? I want to go east. I want to go west. I was going east. No, I want to go west now. I was working way too much. Do I need that much money? No, I don't. Hey, let's go to Ibiza. The parties are stopped down there. Let's go and train. Let's go get some sunshine. Let's go move to Morocco and live on $2 a month. And let's go and eat fruit and carb up and go and ride our bikes and explore. Let's go cycle around Europe or whatever. Let's just go west. Maybe he needs that wake up call. Maybe he's like a guy who wants to go south and do something different. Maybe he wants to keep working a lot. Maybe he wants to take steroids so he can work even more. Maybe he just wants to go the pharmaceutical route. Right? So there's many things. But then again, you put pharmaceutical testosterone in a guy, that might change him as well. He might hang on, who are you? I don't want you anymore. I want all these 20-year-old girls or 18-year-olds or whatever. So that can there's like can be very careful balance there as well. All right, if you bring testosterone up in a certain guy's life who doesn't know how to handle testosterone or whatever at age 30, then he might start to question things and start to think, maybe I could get better. And so it's a juggle there, isn't it? Right? Just to give you people out there, the east, west, south, north, northwest, there's a lot of options, a lot of variables. This is off the top of my head with no script, just doing it style. Just speaking from personal experience. I know when I started taking testosterone on and off, that my ability to soak up BS from people in my life became very short-fused. I became like, I don't have time for this. I really don't have time for this bullshit. And it definitely ended my relationship because when you tease up, you can't tolerate bullshit. Right? So when you tease low, you're a bit like, whatever, it's all good. So I remember when I started taking testosterone back in 2014, did a YouTube series about it, wasn't hiding it. I remember just thinking, in the relationship I was with at the time, freely, and then she would nag me, I'm like, I've done so much for you in your life, I've turned your whole fucking life around, and I just really thought, man, I could do better, I could do a lot better. There's so many girls out there who've been way more grateful than you are, And so I never really had those thoughts too much, but when my teeth went up, I was just like, what am I doing, dude? Harley, what are you doing? She doesn't appreciate you, right? Move on, let her be. And then part of me is like, well, blah, blah, blah. So it's like, it was up and down. But before that, it was all right. So I definitely say that testosterone can end your relationship. It can improve it, and it can also end it. Right? Depends on your compatibility. So this can be very careful there with that. But I think at the end of the day, communication is so important. And that's another thing as well. When my testosterone was high from taking, in general, I'm a person, I hate being bullshitted. I want the truth. Just tell me, I love it. I thrive off just the hardline truth. Whether I want to hear it or not, I just thrive on it. And when my T was even higher, it was like I needed that even more. I didn't want to see any fairy tales. Like you see a lot of low T guys out there, and they believe in their fake natty idols, and you tell them the truth, and they're like, and they can't handle it, because they got low T or whatever, the conditioning. And so in a relationship, I found it very, very important. I needed a girl who's just going to be like frank with me, and Natasha's super frank with me. Right? She would destroy most guys out there with her frankness, but I thrive on that. I'm just like, thankfully, a woman who's not afraid to tell me exactly what she feels 99.9% of the time, and so that just versus 80% of the time or whatever. So I just thrive on that like directiveness, that frankness that would crush most men out there. I just like gives me direction, and so that's what I love. That's what I like to give people, and so that can be another thing as well. Maybe he doesn't want the truth from you, but the only way to find out is to give him the truth. All right, give him the truth, and make sure he's carved up, slept, relaxed. Bit of prolactin in the blood doesn't help after your orgasm. And understanding hormones is very important in life. When you understand hormones, you can understand human behavior versus just have trust, all right? Like I'm looking after a bird now that I found on the street the other day. It's a little rainbow lorikeet. Maybe you saw my Instagram story. And this little bird, its hormones in the morning, you hear it scratching the cage. I have it just sleeping here in the night time because it's nice and warm inside. Outside it's cold. So I bring it inside in this little cage, put the jacket over it, keep it warm. And in the north, it's almost like 7:45 to 7:55, the bird's hormones kick in and start scratching around. And then I put it outside in the sunshine and it starts singing to the other birds. And then at night time, bring it in, just goes to sleep. It's hormone driven, okay? So it's not about me trusting the bird. It's about going, the bird has hormones. This is what it needs. Its cortisol goes up, it goes down, its hormones are flicking around, blah, blah, blah. I'll feed it as much as it can eat all day and it's growing more. So it's about understanding the hormones. So I don't like to have trust in people. That's trust, you'll never satisfy anyone. You got to have understanding. What does that person want? What's their hormones? What's their desires? What's their drive? What's their experience? What's their all these things, their fantasies, their history, their parental impact, etc. How they were raised, all these understanding things, having that comprehension, and then you can have a better quality of life. So that's just where I'm coming up to my life, where I'm at, and to ramble on. It's we live in a busy world, man, where people don't have time to talk and think. And this is why I've created the lifestyle I live today. Not because I want money or fame, it's just like I want time to just reflect, think and act, versus go, I've got to be here at 9 o'clock, but I want to be here, and it's like, hang on, we've got to go, because I've got to pay $500 a week rent because I want to live in a fancy area, and I live in a shit box, and I don't care. I'd be happy living on the street, as long as I've got time to read, think, communicate, explore, live. That's what makes me happy. What makes me fulfilled. And what else can we say on this one? We can go deep into it. So we may get some follow-ups from the lady, and we can make more response videos. And so if you want more information, join the coaching group, and we can dive deep, rabbit hole deep in these sort of videos. What else can we talk about just to wrap up the video and the podcast? We put it on the Durianrider podcast as well. For the podcast listeners out there, understanding your hormones is very important, and guys got to understand that as well. Like, guys will be like, the girls like, no, stay home from the gym, cuddle me and just go and hang out. And there's a balance as well. You can do that, but if you're sacrificing your hypergamy status for her, eventually she'll be like, oh, actually, no, I want this guy. You know what I mean? So in life, guys, all right, this is the biggest thing. You have to do exactly in life what you want to do. Never sacrifice your drive, what you want to do for a woman, because she won't respect you. She won't. In the long term, she won't. And then you'll be like, hang on, I sacrificed all that, and now you're off with Frank, or you're off with Durianrider, or you're off with whoever. What? I love you. But you didn't make her feel everything she wanted to feel. 6 human female needs. Almost didn't get it. Primary one is the fuckboy. Right? She wants to feel attraction to you. How you talk, how you walk, how you smell, your physical appearance, your height, your hair, whatever, your girth and length. The fuckboy. Right? It's a package. Fuckboy is not just one thing. It's a package of things. And honing your fuckboy status. Right? Knowing what part of her body she responds to. Not the last girl from last night or the girl from this morning. The girl now that's in your bed. What she responds to. And it might be similar to the other girls, but there's always, some girls like different pressures and cadence and routines, things like that. So you got to understand what she likes, all right? So you cultivate your fuckboy skill. Now, the next one is, she wants the boyfriend. All right, so this girl here, she's got the boyfriend. He's caring, he's good with his family. He's, she can take him out. He's not going to lose his shit in public. He, go to a restaurant and go for a movie, go for a walk, sit on the couch, Netflix and chill. That's the boyfriend, The other one is the friend. All right, third one's friend, where she wants someone she can tell anything to, She can tell her deepest fears or deepest fantasies or deepest secrets or whatever, and with no judgment. Just a listening ear. Go, yeah, that's interesting, I can relate. A friend, Someone to go shopping with or do girly things with as a boyfriend. That's powerful. Other one is a provider. Maybe he's got money. He's got a house. He can provide free rent, or he can provide good food. Or provide holidays or whatever, or clothing or things like that. That's important as well. Provider. Another one is the alpha. The alpha. What is the alpha? Alpha is a guy who's just rock solid, all right, in his status, not so much, but in his mood. Right? Status is very important as well, but mood as well. Mood's more important than status, because if you're at status, but behind the scenes, you're just this crazy psycho dude smashing things, she's going to be like, this dude's crazy, I'm out. He might be alpha status, but at home, he can't control his personality and mood. See ya. Don't want to be you. And so they're the alpha. It's very, very important. So the guy who's calm, who can handle conflict and think about stuff before he acts. He just pauses at 10 seconds and goes, is this a good idea? Nah, let's do this way. Just got an alpha who's just like a rock. Alpha is like the massive tree, provides shelter and habitat for all its little critters. And it's just there every day. The big tree's there. It's rock solid. It doesn't fall over in the wind. It doesn't get burnt by the fire, by the heaters. It's rock solid alpha tree. Okay. Now you see a lot of guys hitting steroids, getting big and stuff, but then they get on Instagram and say skip leg day, and it just crushes them. They just it's like you cut the tree from the timber with one comment on Instagram. That's not alpha. The guy might look alpha, but then the woman goes, well, he gets cut down so easy. He's not alpha. He's a fake alpha. And so there's that element as well. So alpha in your personality and your mood, where you're driven and you don't take things too personally. And it comes with time. Right? And the last one would be the mentor. Sixth female need. Six, can count. Sixth female need, the mentor, where you're the guy. Let's say she wants to be the best ballerina out there, or she wants to be an Instagram starlet or a model or whatever. Do you have experience helping her with her goals? And if you do, she's like, she's grabbed you and it's like, oh, look at all the girlfriends I've had. They've always wanted to be, models or have a bit of fame or, whatever. Narcissistic traits, whatever, which is fine. And, so I'm a strong mentor. I can make, most women, or even guys as well, have an incredible quality of life. So I can give them direction. I can give them mentorship. So a lot of women will do anything to be, in that sort of area with me. So are you a mentor for her? What is she into? Maybe you have no experience with playing pianos, but you'll hold the piano book or whatever, or just give her some sort of support. A semi-mentorship, things like that, support, which comes under the friend and boyfriend umbrella. So it's all about, if you find a girl in your life and you want to hook her in deep, then you just supply her 6 needs, and then you got her wrapped up like a spider wraps up a fly, just wrapped up. She ain't getting nowhere. She don't want to be nowhere. She's like, I want to be in your arms because you meet all my 6 needs. And but be careful doing that, because if you change your mind one day, she'll be so into you, and if you're like, I'm over it, she'll be like, what? And then you'll be in big trouble. So then what you got to do is you got to pull away your 6 needs over time, not just in one day, and then she'll eventually go, I'm not into you that much, and then she'll be jumping ship, and then you'll be like, next, and do it the easy way. Women don't like feeling rejected. Best thing you can do is never make a woman feel rejected. I didn't really understand that until a few years ago. One of the biggest mistakes I made in my life is being honest to women. Then they feel rejected, and I got in a lot of trouble. Right? Still I go to this day. So, guys, be careful with that one. A woman or a beta male feeling rejected. Wow. Dramas in the post. That's the video. 39 minutes on. If you have any comments or questions, leave them down below. For more coaching, durianrider.com. Thanks for support. It's the birthday video, birthday podcast.